A janitor in Vermont named Ronald Reed died with an $8 million portfolio, while the financial advisors in his town were retiring broke. And the 5 habits separating those two outcomes have nothing to do with salary. Let us start with habit number 1, and this one is going to sting a little. Stop treating your savings like whatever is left over at the end of the month. That approach is backwards, and it is exactly why most people feel like they are running in place financially. Think about it. If you wait until all your bills are paid, your groceries are bought, your entertainment is covered, and your random impulse purchases are handled before you save, you are going to save next to nothing. Life always finds a way to absorb whatever is sitting in your checking account. The people who build wealth do the opposite. They pay themselves first, automatically. The moment your paycheck lands, a portion disappears into savings before you even see it. Your brain never registers it as money available to spend, so you adapt your lifestyle around what remains. It is not about willpower. It removes willpower from the equation entirely. Even starting with 10% of your income and automating that transfer can completely transform your financial trajectory over time. Set it up once and let the system do the heavy lifting. Habit number 2 is one that sounds almost too simple, but the numbers are genuinely shocking. Track every single dollar that leaves your account. Most people believe they know where their money goes. They are wrong. Almost everyone who starts properly tracking their spending discovers categories that are double or triple what they estimated. There are forgotten subscriptions still quietly charging every month. There are convenience purchases that feel tiny individually, but stack up to hundreds monthly. There are patterns that only become visible when you actually look at the data. You cannot fix what you cannot see. The tool you use does not matter much. A spreadsheet works. A budgeting app works. What matters is the habit of actually reviewing your spending consistently. Once you see a number you are uncomfortable with written down in front of you, something shifts psychologically. It creates its own pressure toward change without you having to force motivation. Now here is where we build some real momentum. Habit number 3 is learning to push back on the bills you think are fixed. Most people treat their monthly expenses like they are set in stone. Internet bill, phone plan, insurance premiums. They arrive, you pay them, end of story. But here is what companies know and count on. Most customers never negotiate. They raise prices gradually because they assume you will not notice or will not bother to push back. Spending just 1 hour a year comparing rates, calling providers, and threatening to switch can save you several $100s annually. Companies would rather give you a discount than lose you as a customer entirely. This habit requires almost zero ongoing effort once you build the practice of doing it regularly. One phone call can pay you more per hour than almost any job you will ever work. Habit number 4 addresses something that quietly destroys wealth for high earners just as much as it does for average earners. Lifestyle inflation. Here is the pattern that plays out constantly. Someone gets a raise, so they upgrade their apartment. They get a promotion, so they buy a nicer car. A bonus arrives, and somehow the whole lifestyle expands to match it. Within a few months, that extra income has been completely absorbed by higher expenses, and the savings account looks exactly the same as before. Real wealth builders do something different. When their income grows, their expenses stay relatively flat. That gap between what comes in and what goes out is where wealth actually accumulates. The deliberate choice to resist automatic lifestyle upgrades is one of the most powerful financial decisions you can make. It feels unnatural because everything around you is pushing you to spend more as you earn more. Resisting that pull consistently is what separates people who build real wealth from those who always feel financially stretched, no matter how much they make. And here is habit number 5. The one that ties everything together and honestly deserves more attention than it gets. Develop multiple streams of income and start before you feel ready. Relying entirely on a single income source is one of the most fragile financial positions you can be in. Your wealth building is capped by what one employer decides to pay you. Your entire financial life depends on that one relationship staying intact. The people who accumulate genuine wealth almost universally have income coming from more than one direction. It might start small. A skill you can freelance on weekends. Content you create that eventually generates passive revenue. A small investment that pays dividends. Property that generates rental income. Most attempts at this will not immediately succeed, and that is completely normal. The goal in the beginning is not immediate profit. It is learning, building skills, and expanding the number of opportunities available to you. The nights and weekends you invest into building something additional today are what create the options and freedom you want years from now. Here is what I want you to walk away understanding. None of these habits require you to suddenly earn more money. They require you to see your current financial life more clearly and make small, deliberate changes that compound dramatically over time. Automate your savings before you can spend them. Track where every dollar actually goes. Negotiate the bills that feel fixed. Refuse to let lifestyle creep consume your income growth. And start building additional income streams right now before conditions feel perfect. Pick one of these habits and implement it this week. Not next month. Not when things settle down. This week. Because the gap between knowing something and doing something is exactly where financial potential goes to disappear. Drop in the comments which habit you are starting with. I read every single one.